everybody and welcome to our channel. Today I will be talking about 10 things you should never buy for your rabbit. Before we get into this video, please consider subscribing, liking this video and pressing that notification for more videos about rabbit care and more every Friday. Number 1, sugary treats. There are many unhealthy kinds of rabbit treats on the market these days, so they're such as like cracker bars, like donuts from Vitacraft, and also these yogurt drops, which are super unhealthy, and yogurt drops can cause a buildup of bad bacteria in the gut, and this can be very, very life-threatening for rabbits. So if you want to just have a healthy treat for your rabbit, you can get like Oxbow treats, and you can also just give them leafy greens if you're doing training, because they can eat these quickly. My rabbit Peanut loves parsley, coriander and dandelion leaves. Just make sure you look at the link in the description below of safe rabbit foods, so you know that you aren't going to give any poisonous to your bunny. A 2-kilogram rabbit can drink as much as a 10-kilogram dog every day. So you don't really want them to be drinking from water bottles, because they do not supply enough water and they are harder to get water out of. Also, if the nozzle builds up with bacteria, this can be very, very unhealthy for a rabbit. So instead of getting a water bottle, try using a dog bowl. You'd want a large dog bowl with sides that keep it down, maybe ceramic or maybe a non-slip bowl. Just make sure that the rabbit cannot put its paw on and flip it over, because then you're going to have a lot of spillages. Number 3, muesli. Muesli is this type of rabbit feed that is a mixture of peas, wheat, corn, oats and all these different kinds of oils, which you really don't want to be feeding your rabbit. Even though muesli has lots of fibre in it, you better just feed hay and pellets. I feed Beggus XL pellets with mint. You don't need any additives or anything in this, and they have Timothy hay in them. So my rabbit is also fed off meadow hay, which he enjoys, because I can also get this in a big bag for £4.50, so it's really, really cheap for me. Or the other Beggus XL bags, they are about £6.99, so those will still be good if you're just starting off. This lasted me about 5 days, and the big bags, I think they will last me about 1 to 2 months. So you want to feed 1/4 a cup of pellets for every 2 pounds of rabbit. I just feed Peanut a 1/4 cup at night and a 1/4 cup for his breakfast. Number 4, corner litter boxes. Corner litter boxes are usually used for the side of small cages or in hutches, but you really don't want to use these, since rabbits like to be able to do a 360 in their litter box, so you're better off with getting a large size cat litter box. Peanut has a covered litter box just because I don't want all his poo on show all the time, so I just have one of those. But you can also get litter trays, or you can get a storage box, cut a hole in it, or you can get a low-sided storage box and use that. For hay in their litter box, you can either just put it in there, you can use a hay rack if you don't have a top on one, or you can also use a hay bag. As long as the hay rack's got big enough bars or holes in it and it holds enough hay, and hay bags the same for that, big enough holes and big enough place to put hay. For litter I use Carefresh paper, so that is very good with odour and keeping all the wetness in it. So I also put the bottom of the litter box has paper towels in it. He can chew those if he likes, but he doesn't ever chew those. Peanut also digs in his litter box, so I don't really mind that, but this morning I woke up and there was poo all over the ground, but I didn't really mind that. I just picked it straight up because rabbit poo is really, really dry. Number 5, small cages or hutches. Hutches were first made for the use of meat rabbits. With hardly any room to move, the rabbits would get fatter and faster so that people could eat them. Cages, on the other hand, are just way too small for your rabbit to move, and they can also get depressed. With a lack of exercise, they can get muscle weakness and obese, which really isn't good for their health. If you want to have a proper sized cage, make sure you have an X-pen which is 6 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot, which is 91 centimeters tall, so your rabbit cannot jump over it, because a rabbit can jump over anything smaller than 91 centimeters. So I got the largest X-pen at Pets at Home. That cost about £67, I believe, and your rabbit can also live in a bunny-proofed room. I've moved my X-pen so he's got most of the room, but I've also got holes because we live in an old house. I've also got holes in our floor so he cannot have that other bit of the room. We let him out for exercise for 3 to 4 hours a day, but we leave him out for like much longer than that. He's usually sleeping at about 12 till 4, so we usually let him out and then he just sleeps under the sofa. So you can also make your rabbit free roam. If you want to learn more about that, I'd recommend watching Len and the Bunny. I guess you've already heard of that because they're super popular. But anyway, her rabbit is called Lennon, and she just free roams around the whole apartment. Number 6, small hay racks. A hay makes up 80% of a rabbit's diet, so they need an unlimited supply every single day. So one of these small hay racks just isn't going to cut it. If you want to have a hay rack but you don't know what to use, you can either buy a large one with big holes in it or big bars that can hold enough hay, and your rabbit can get the hay out easily. You can also use hay bags, as I mentioned in the litter box part. So you can use hay bags as long as they've got big enough holes and enough space for hay. You can also use a plastic bag holder from IKEA. This is what I used for Peanut's hay rack, but he has also got hay in his litter box just because I wanted him to have enough hay so that he could always be eating and keep his GI tract moving. Number 7, soft or stiff bristle brushes. Now only one of these brushes is kind of dangerous for rabbits, but the other one's just a money waster. So if you have a stiff bristle brush, because rabbits have such delicate skin, when you put it across their fur you might scratch them. So you really don't want to use these. Now a soft bristle brush is just complete money waster, because they have so much fur coming off them that there's just like no use using them on a rabbit, because rabbits are just shedders during like summer, which Peanut is shedding right now. And if you want to use a good brush, I'd recommend the Hair Buster or the Furminator. I have the Hair Buster and it really does work pretty well. Also you can use a rubber brush. This kind of helps get all that loose fur off because it keeps on because it is rubber. Number 8, cat litter. Most popular brands of cat litter clump up around the urine, making it easier to clean. So you do not want to give this to your rabbit just in case they accidentally digest it when they are eating their hay, and it can go in their stomach and clump up in the rabbit's stomach fluids, and this can also block the intestines, meaning they will not be able to poo, and they will, sadly, this can be fatal. So you do definitely not want to put cat litter in their litter box. If you want to use different types of litter, you can either use Carefresh, this is what I use, and you can also use a ton of other ones which I will put in the description box. Number 9, salt licks. I have no idea where this traditional thing came from, but it is so strange, because why in the world would you eat a plate of salt? That is exactly what it's like for a rabbit licking a salt lick. They get all their vitamins and minerals from their veggies and their pellets, but you really do not need these, so you can just like chuck it away because it is just an unhealthy thing. Number 10, collars. You never ever want to put a collar on a rabbit because they can suffocate themselves, get their paws stuck or their jaw stuck when they're trying to get it off, or break their neck or their spine because their bones are so delicate. So you really do not want to put this on your rabbit. If you want to take your rabbit out but want to keep it on a leash, try using a harness, but never ever leave your rabbit unattended in a harness, or if they do not like it, do not force them because this can just be very, very dangerous and sometimes fatal for them using one. Thank you for watching this video. Don't worry if you've made any of these mistakes. It doesn't matter, it was just by accident. So if you still have this cage or anything, no rabbit shelter will ever want to take one of these or any other animals, because rats, mice and hamsters and guinea pigs can definitely not live in these small little cages. So please, just if you have one of those cages, small cages with a take-off bottom, you can use this as a litter box. If you have a water bottle, just chuck it away as well, because nobody is ever going to want to use those, except maybe they'll use them for hamsters. I'm not sure about what you have to use for hamsters, so please don't get angry. And if you have any theories why they use salt licks, please comment those down below, because I would really like to know. So please like, subscribe and hit that bell for more rabbit info, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.